Hey, hello, everybody. How are you? Ooh, I am like not prepared, but here I am. Hey Jeffrey. Hey Kingstish family. Ella, Danny on the chat. Man in the chat from the other room. It's my backup right there. Um, I don't know. I'm fabulous. Okay, I'm just getting used to this whole little setup of things. I'm a little shorter here. I'm not quite making it as well. Oh, look, oh. I see myself at two different times. This is like a weird thing. Okay. Um, all right. So, thank you guys for joining us for all of last month's animation things. Everything is weird. What do you want? What did you do it? Daddy's like creeping over here.
Just keep
going. Okay. I feel like this seems like choppy.
going.
Oh, okay. Now it's better. All right. See? There's my tech support. Yay, Daddy. Woohoo! Yay, Daddy. So everybody like Danny's new hair? How are we all feeling about the change? Did you guys all see? I did that, by the way. Since, there's no other way to get haircuts right now, so we decided we were going to let Jessica take a whack at it. All right, so let's get it rolling. Get into our. Got my little Jackster. All right. We're gonna talk about May. It's gonna be May. Yes, it's gonna be May. And so we are going to let you know what to look out for coming up in the next month on all of the different streaming services and TV as well. As always, my normal disclaimer, I do not name every single thing that's going to come out on Netflix, just stuff that sort of fits into our demographic. And but let's recap real quick some stuff that I mentioned last month, some April premieres that came out, some things that I found that never came up on the premieres. So let's hit those. First of all, there is a new movie on Netflix that came up in the last couple days that we had talked about last month, The Willoughbys. And I was kind of like, as it is before these things come out when I cover them, I don't really know exactly what they're going to be or how they're going to be. So this movie, The Willoughbys, came out on Netflix. Ricky Gervais, Will Forte, who else? Maya Rudolph, bunch of cool people. So we watched it the other night, and it is absolutely adorable. Adorable. Check out The Willoughbys. Happy birthday, Jeffrey. We will be looking out for your birthday. The Willoughbys is adorable. It is really cute. I loved it. If you have kids, if you don't, it doesn't matter. I mean, we don't have kids. We just like stuff kids like because that's how cool we are. But Danny and I liked it. I think you'll like it. Check out The Willoughbys on Netflix. It is adorable. Another thing that we mentioned last month that I told you that the creators of Adventure Time had this animated series coming out called The Midnight Gospel, which was just described as trippy. And I didn't know exactly what to make of that. So The Midnight Gospel came out a couple days ago. It is absolutely trippy. That is definitely a good word to describe it. So here's the thing. Midnight Gospel, I really, really like it. I really, really enjoyed it. So, I watched the first couple of episodes and sort of had them on background noise like I, do with animated stuff sometimes. so I wasn't paying like that close attention to it, but I was like, oh, this is cool. But there's like so much visually going on that I was like, you know what, this will be good for me to like fall asleep to more than like to sit down and watch because it's like, whoa. So I figured like, oh, this will be so like later on when I went to go to sleep, I threw on the Midnight Gospel and ended up watching almost the entire series and did not sleep at all. It was really, really good. So uh I have to like do a little more deep diving into like the people behind it and stuff like that. But the main character, Clancy, he goes into like different, it's kind of like different versions of Earth. So there's like all these different like, you know, the many worlds timeline kind of thing. So he goes into these different like planets or different like Earths, different things, and like all different stuff happens. But what it really is yeah. So it's more like this, like there's an episode with like the first episode is with Dr. Drew and they're talking about drugs and things like that. So they animate things kind of around between them having this like actual conversation. And some of them are crazy good. Like there it was like the third or fourth episode was him talking to Damien Eccles. I don't know if you guys like know offhand who that is. Damien Eccles was, if you've ever seen like the documentary series Paradise Lost about the little, there were like these three little boys that got killed, and this one kid, Damien Eccles, was accused of doing it. He went to prison for a very long time because he was kind of like goth and everything like that. So everybody assumed that he was like a devil worshiper, and he was like none of those things, you know, he was just a kid. It's a really good documentary series, a really interesting story, and you know, he is into more Wicca type stuff now. He does this whole episode about magic, and it's this guy talking to Damien Eccles and having so like, and they animate the show around it, and they add little lines to like make us, you know, storyline sort of. It's very interesting. It is amazing. I mean, the final episode, I honestly hello Zool. Like the last episode, like the guy who works on his show, his mom passed away, and it was a whole thing that they did with her. It was really good. Like honestly, I sobbed through this like trippy little cartoon, but it's really good. Check out the Midnight Gospel. I like it a lot. I hope you guys do too. One other thing that I discovered, and how did I not find out about this when I was doing premieres and things like that? Now, on one hand, on our for whatever reason, our TV service doesn't get AMC, so we don't have like quick access to Walking Dead anymore. It's the one thing that kind of ends up being a pain once in a while, is not having AMC. So this is an AMC show that I did not know about, and you guys didn't tell me about it. If any of you have seen this show, please let me know, because I want to know if people are watching this, because I found it by accident, hadn't heard anything about it, and I love it. So there's this AMC show called Dispatches from Elsewhere, with Jason Segel from How I Met Your Mother, you know, Marshall. Sally Field is in it, Andre 3000. There's a trans actress named Eva something. I have to double check her name. She was really good too. Amazing show. So it's about these like people who, you know, find one of those phone number things on a telephone pole. Like each sign that they find say different random things, but they end up calling this number and being a part of this like game. So interesting. It's really, the first episode was a little like, whoa, like, because the first episode focuses on the character that Jason Segel plays, and that dude's brain is like all over the place. So it sets the show up a little, Don't judge the whole show on the first episode. It's really good. The final episode of it, actually the 10th, the last episode, will be on this coming Monday. So if you want to catch it on like on demand or something like that, like whatever, however you watch your normal AMC, the show's gonna be finished, like it's right before the final episode. I don't know how I didn't come across this show when I did the premieres for the month that it started. I haven't seen it talked about, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and especially if you're looking for things to like watch right now to keep busy and stuff like that, it was a great little series. So check out Dispatches from Elsewhere. I highly recommend it. All right, so let's get into our premieres. Not too much going on, but here we go, and away we go. Yeah, the StreamYard numbers have been a little bit off for a couple weeks, I think, kind of since everything went on, and the internet is just like a little overwhelmed. I found like our streaming numbers to be a little bit inaccurate. But hey, what you gonna do? All right, so we're gonna kick off with Netflix. So on the 3rd, there's a series called Hollywood premiering on Netflix by Ryan Murphy, who does the American Horror Story, all that kind of stuff. You know, he did the Feud, Betty and Joan, which was excellent. I love when Ryan Murphy does those little like backstory celebrity things. Feud was great. He did the Bob Fosse one too, I believe, and that was excellent. Michelle Williams did such a good Gwen Verdon. I was like, and I hate, like, I'm all about old Hollywood, and I don't like current actors playing people that I loved. But Michelle Williams did such a stellar job with that. She was just fantastic. So I love when Ryan Murphy does this kind of stuff. So there's this series, Hollywood. It'll be premiering on the 3rd. So it's kind of about the Hollywood heyday, but through the perspective of aspiring actors and directors. So I'm super interested to see how this all plays out. So I'm definitely going to be checking out Hollywood. That'll be coming up. What, next week? I don't know exactly what day. What are we on, the 24th? So maybe next Friday, because I know Netflix likes to do their bigger premieres on Fridays usually, but we'll see. On the 5th, there's a Jerry Seinfeld stand-up coming out. You know, I'll throw the stand-up in there once in a while. I mean, I personally am not like a huge Seinfeld fan. The show is okay. And I liked Jerry Seinfeld when he was a stand-up comedian, like back in the days before he had a TV show and stuff like that. When he used to do like the Young Comedian special, I saw him on and things like that. But yeah, but he can be really funny. It's kind of hit or miss with Jerry Seinfeld. So he has one coming out. So if anybody's a fan, on the 5th, you'll have a new stand-up from Jerry Seinfeld. On the 8th, season 2 of that show, Dead to Me. I didn't watch it right away the first season, but I did catch it eventually and ended up really liking it. It's with Married with Children. What's her name? Christina Applegate. Thank you very much, Brain. And the other chick who was on some medical show. I can't remember. She has an Italian name. So it's like Castellini, blah, 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 something. But if anybody saw this, so anyway, basic premise of the show is like Christina Applegate's husband was like killed in an accident and stuff like that, and this like she meets this girl in like a grief counseling group, but it ends up that the girl's kind of like full of it, and she's really the one that killed her husband, and it was very interesting. Like, it seems super dramatic, and at moments it is, but like it's a little light at the same time. It's just a regular kind of decent series. It's not like super whodunit or anything like that, but it was a really cute series. So the second season of that's going to be coming out. A movie called The Wrong Missy that looked like it could be kind of interesting. David Spade is in it. I haven't seen David Spade much in a while. Wait, I need my tech support. Danny!
What?
Can you open that window, please? Sorry, it's getting a little hot in the studio. All right, so on the 11th, there's a show coming out called Have a Good Trip, Adventures in Psychedelics. Thank you. I lost the word for a second there because I abbreviated. So it is a show that's going to have like different celebrities and stuff talking about like, I don't know, I guess times that they did hallucinogenics. Seems like it, I don't know, like Netflix in general is having a very trippy spring. So we'll see how that goes. And a documentary series is coming out the same day. That was the 11th, called Trial by Media. So that one's going to be about, see, like Netflix does these series really well, which is why I throw them out there. I know they're not our typical geek-centered entertainment, but I love a good documentary series, and Netflix tends to do them better than most. Like, if one is coming out on Netflix, you'll know it's usually pretty good. So this one called Trial by Media, and it has to do with different court cases that the modern media got very involved in and kind of changed maybe like how they would have gone, things like that. All right, so on the 12th, this is one I'm looking forward to. Absolutely. I feel so short. I feel super short on the stream tonight. All right, the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, which if you guys have watched, like Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt came out when Netflix wasn't putting a series out every week, when Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt came out, it was kind of early in the Netflix series, so it was kind of a bigger deal than if it maybe had dropped now, but it's a great series. It's really funny. So they have a special coming out on, what did I say? The 12th, called Kimmy versus the Reverend. Now, it said it's an interactive, and I don't know what that possibly means. I have no idea. I mean, unless they mean like that episode of Black Mirror. Very confusing. I kind of felt like they used the wrong, I don't know. I guess I'll see. But yeah, it's going to be about Kimmy and the Reverend had, put her down in the hole. So I'm going to be checking that out. Check that out. Season 3 of that show, Magic for Humans, is coming out. The 5th and final season of the She-Ra reboot on Netflix is coming out on the 15th. On the 19th, there's a Patton Oswalt stand-up. I like Patton Oswalt, so I'm going to be checking that out. And a TV series called Sweet Magnolias. I wrote something down that looks like it says, I don't know. There was some hint to me about what that was about. But I can't read my own handwriting today. So, oh, on the 22nd, trying to think of their names. So, on the 22nd, that movie, The Lovebirds, is coming out on Netflix. Now, The Lovebirds was originally scheduled to be a theatrical release by Paramount in April. It's with that girl Issa something. I think she has that show Insecure on HBO, and that Indian dude whose name I'm like failing to think of right at this moment. So it was supposed to be released in the theater, but I guess they ended up pulling the release right before, since the movie theaters weren't open. And Netflix acquired the movie. So now rather than a theatrical release, it's going to be a Netflix premiere on May 22nd. So yeah, it looks good. Looks, it. They put a lot of work into it because it was supposed to be a theatrical release. So, should be a decent film. So that's what ended up happening with that movie. Anyway, I mean, I know certain other ones we were supposed to have by now just have kind of like fallen into the abyss. Like, I wonder what's happening with Candyman, things like that were supposed to be coming out. I would love if they did with that Candyman movie, what they did with that movie, The Hunt, and The Invisible Man, which actually were both really good. I mean, The Invisible Man was a definitely good version of that story. That movie, The Hunt, I liked that one a lot. Like, it was not exactly what I expected. It was more horror comedy than I thought it was. It reminded me a little bit of that movie, Not Ready or Not. Wait, was it Ready or Not? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the name of it. That came out recently. If that one should kind of just be available on rental and stuff like that, and probably out on DVD like in the last month or so. That movie was great. Check out Ready or Not. It was so good. The Hunt, so good. So I really would like to see them put Candyman out straight to streaming since we can't see it. But I have a feeling they're gonna hold on to that one, and it'll end up getting released whenever it gets released. So we'll see. For any fans of that show, Trailer Park Boys, season 2 of the animated series of Trailer Park Boys is coming out on the 22nd. On the 23rd, see, this is what I'm looking for. So there's this documentary, I don't know, I guess it's a documentary series or like limited series probably, called Spelling the Dream, about 4 kids who go to the International Spelling Bee. The International Spelling Bee is never not entertaining. So I always watch the Spelling Bee. I will be watching this documentary and seeing all these neurotic little kids prepping for the Spelling Bee. I'm super psyched about it. May 29th. The only thing I'm upset about is that I have to wait a whole month for this premiere. They really saved the best for last, Netflix. They really did. So, on May 29th, Season 1 of Space Force, which is a mockumentary style series done by Steve Carell and Greg Daniels about new recruits to the new Space Force. This show, I really feel, is going to be hilarious. I am super psyched about it. It's going to be great, and I'm psyched about it. So, I'm looking out for Space Force. The only drawback is it's not coming out until the 29th, and I'm sad. I think Steve Carell and Greg Daniels will do a really good job with that material, and that show has got to be just hilarious, and I am super psyched about it. Super, super psyched. All right, so let's jump to Hulu. That was our Netflix. Yay, Netflix. Ooh. I mean, there were a couple other, a lot of foreign series that I don't throw in, a lot of, couple animes that are coming out and stuff like that. So there's other stuff. that'll pop up on Netflix above and beyond what I've mentioned. But that's a little ba-doop for you. Alright, so we're going to jump to Hulu. A couple of things that are going on right now on Hulu or just wrapping up on Hulu. This week was the final episode to that Hulu show, Little Fires Everywhere. I guess it was done off of a book, which I am not familiar with per se. It was with, what's her face, Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington. It was a decent series. I don't know. I don't imagine there'll be a follow-up to it because it sort of seemed like a standalone covering of a book, and it had a pretty decent, like, I don't know. It could come back on. It was okay. It wasn't like, the most riveting or my favorite series of like the year or anything like that, but it was entertaining and I liked it, and that ended this week. Also, actually last week, I believe, ended that show Devs, which was like a Hulu FX show. Devs was super interesting. I don't know, like, yeah, it's, I can't really talk too much about it, like, this is what I'm having a problem with, like, I don't want to talk too much about it, I don't really want to give anything away if you guys are going to check it out. Nick Offerman was in Devs. He was kind of like one of the main dudes. And he owns this like tech company, so it's about some crazy things. It was good. It was definitely, Nick Offerman was great. I liked the cast. It was very interesting. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. I am like so not keeping up with chat today because I don't have my glasses on. And we're about probably halfway through that Mrs. America series, which probably caught my attention. I mean, I probably would have caught it eventually anyway, but I didn't just be like, oh, there's this series about feminists and I'm gonna watch it. But like, they just had a super interesting cast. Rose Byrne, who is alright, but like Tracy Ullman, who I've mentioned a lot in the last month actually on Fridays, because Tracy Ullman was the one whose show originally spurned The Simpsons. So Tracy Ullman's in that series. She plays Betty Friedan, and yeah, Tracy Ullman is the one who The Simpsons came from. Her show. She had nothing to do with the actual Simpsons. That was always Matt Groening. But all of the voices for The Simpsons, Julie Kavner, Max Castellaneta, they were all actors from her show, who The Simpsons was just like a part of the show. I don't know if it was every week or like just, whenever it came up. But so yeah, Hank Azaria was not part of the Tracy Ullman show. But like all the rest, the voice of Marge, the voice of Homer, all those people were actors from the Tracy Ullman show, which was a sketch show that was on. So she's on this Mrs. America show. Sarah Paulson from American Horror Story. Kate Blanchett is really, really good in it. I usually like her, not always, but usually, and I like her a lot in this. So, yeah, Uzo Aduba from Orange is the New Black. So, yeah, excellent cast, which is really what caught my attention first. But the series has been really interesting, so pretty good. All right, so here's what's coming up on Hulu. So first, I did not know this was happening, but I'm super psyched about it, and you should be too. Let's talk. So, May 8th is premiering a show on Hulu called Solar Opposites. Now, Solar Opposites is done by the creators of Rick and Morty, which gives me much hope and promise. So, Justin Roiland and the other dude. It's a show about aliens that crash land in America, and it goes from there apparently. So the animation style looks very much like Rick and Morty from the shots that I saw of it. I am very psyched about it. So we're all going to be checking out Solar Opposites. We'll see how it goes. Another part of that Hulu Into the Dark is premiering also on the 8th. This one's called Delivered. On the 15th, there's a series on Hulu called The Great, which is described as a comedy series about like the rise of Catherine the Great. Okay, so it's with Elle Fanning, and yeah, so apparently it's a comedy about Catherine the Great. So it seems like it could be interesting. I don't know. Guess we'll see. That was pretty much the long and short of what was going on Hulu this month. Jump to Apple TV Plus. Apple TV Plus on April. Did I say April 24th? Okay, so that ended up a little out of. Oh no, that's why I put it first. Okay, so April 24th, which is like today, because I don't know if I mentioned it on last month's stream. I'll throw it out there on this one just so we make sure we cover that. So the Beastie Boys story, Apple TV, April 24th. So that should be up and available to watch now. I love the Beastie Boys. Danny loves the Beastie Boys. So we're definitely going to look into that and check out the Beastie Boys story on Apple. That series Defending Jacob dropped today too. Chris Evans is in it about I guess this guy whose son gets accused of murder. I can't tell from the advertisements whether the kid actually did it or not, but I don't know. If you're into that kind of thing, that should be up on Apple TV Plus too. On May 5th, there's a series called Dear ... So it's going to be all different people, different like celebrities and sports figures, things like that. Political figures, all kinds of stuff. Reading kind of like letters that they've gotten from people that were, you know, very significant to them or whatever. So it seemed like an interesting little like so and then okay, I saw this listed two different ways. On one list it said to be announced. On another list I saw it listed for May 29th. So I'm guessing that they came to a date or whatever, but don't hold me to that one because I guess the date was announced post haste. So there's a series on Apple called Central Park coming out. So it's going to be an animated musical comedy series is how it was described. But by the people that I saw that were going to be in it, Kristen Bell, Titus Burgess, I believe Daveed Diggs. People who generally are known for being able to sing. So yeah, it's about a family who I guess lives in Central Park and takes care of it or something like that, called the Tillermans, I think their name was. But yeah, it's going to be an animated musical comedy series. It's going to be coming out on Apple Plus, probably May 29th, but in other places I saw to be announced. So I don't know whether the 29th was recently announced or whether it's maybe not exactly accurate. We'll check into that. So that was the big news from Apple Plus this month. Apple TV. I don't know. I guess I'm still singing theme songs, even though I doesn't have one. You know, what I realized after Saturday night streams, like, I don't think TV shows have theme songs anymore. Like, they don't really. I mean, some of them will just, like, kind of play music. But, I mean, because we had a whole thing last Saturday night where, everybody started trying to stump me with TV theme songs, which went on for about an hour, and eventually I was stumped by Ben and 227. Not because I don't know the theme song for 227, but I think after that long of like singing TV theme songs, my brain just fried out and I could not think of it at the time that I was asked. So I'm gonna give credit to Ben for finally stumping me Saturday night on 227. Even though I watch 227 every week and I surely do know it. But anyway. Alright, so let's hop over to Disney Plus and see what's going on over there. Alright, so May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Has a little treat for Star Wars fans. So, whoa. Yeah, that's what that says. Alright, so May the 4th, the Disney Gallery is going to have the Mandalorian. So I guess Disney Gallery is like a behind the scenes type thing. So they're going to be doing a lot of stuff about a whole thing about like the making of the Mandalorian and all that stuff like that behind the scenes kind of Mandalorian goodies and tidbits. So you can get your Star Wars on over in Disney Plus, and of course, what is it? Clone Wars is currently airing new episodes every Friday also. So got lots of Star Wars, got lots of Star Wars. Like okay. Yeah, then the only other there are a lot of movies doing their comings and goings on and off Disney Plus. I try not to get into all that, or else these streams would really be just an all-night affair. Notably, The Princess Bride is going to be coming to Disney Plus this month. So if you've never seen The Princess Bride, I don't know what you're doing. Oh, you know who else is in The Princess Bride? Themed for the night, Tracy Ullman. Tracy Ullman is Latrine in The Princess Bride. Ba-doop. And Andre the Giant's in The Princess Bride, and I have just all last night been watching that series, The Dark Side of the Ring, which is on Vice. And I was into wrestling like in the 80s when wrestling was cool. So by the 90s, I had kind of gotten out of it and haven't really like been too into wrestling since then. But this Dark Side of the Ring series is mind-blowing. I watched it because they had a couple episodes that I really wanted to check out, like the Macho Man and Elizabeth one, because that's a whole crazy story too. And they have an episode on the Fabulous Moolah, and I love the Fabulous Moolah, and I don't care who wants to say bad things about Moolah. I love Moolah. I'm a Fabulous Moolah fan for sure. But that was really cool because, you know, like Wendy Richter was on it, and, you know, it gets into that whole Cyndi Lauper, Captain Lou Albano, Goonies time, which is like so cool and excellent. But yeah, if you like wrestling and you have not checked out this Dark Side of the Ring show, you need to check it out because it's pretty crazy. Like, I'm not even that into wrestling anymore, but they have some like wrestlers that I knew, like Jimmy Superfly Snuka. I did not know that he was like woohoo. The Bret Hart episode was really cool. I just watched the Dino Bravo episode, and my brother hit Dino Bravo once. We were at the Westchester County Center, and he was walking to the ring, and for some reason, my brother just said, wow. And he turned around and was like, Rrr. So, like, yeah, I always remember Dino Bravo because I thought he was going to hit my brother once. But yep, that's for sure. And we saw a cage match, and I think that Jimmy Superfly Snuka might have been, I don't know, it was the 80s. It was great. Yeah, so the other thing, sorry, I got all off track by wrestling there for a second. There's a series coming on Disney Plus called The Big Fib, on the 22nd. So that was the only other kind of major premiere thing. Hey, Jonathan. All right, so Amazon Prime, believe that says the second season 2 of that show, Homecoming. I haven't seen it. It's like, I don't know. Look, cop shows and military things and stuff like that is not usually my bag, really. So I don't get into too much stuff like that all the time. It depends upon the angle of it. But I'm a little more into like geeky magical things and oh, what did I see? Ooh, one of the streaming services. Damn, I can't believe I forgot to check on this because I was like, ooh. And with the list of movies that were coming on, like they mentioned Batman, and I don't know which Batman they're talking about. And I don't know if it's the Tim Burton Batman that Danny and I have been trying to watch for like the longest time. And then like one of our friends had the movie and we were supposed to get it from him, and then quarantine happened. And we never got to see Batman again. But yeah, Batman's gonna be coming on one of the streaming services, but I don't know. I'm assuming it's the Tim Burton Batman, because if not, it would have said like the Dark Knight or blah 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 blah. Like the Tim Burton one is the only one that's just called Batman. So I'm assuming that that's the one it is. I have to check it out. Also on Amazon Prime, the 11th, I think. I was very kind of all over the place today. There's a series called Upload. It's a comedy satire deal, dealing with like, oh, I gotta like start writing things down and stop thinking that I'm gonna remember everything. But that was the one thing that looked sort of interesting on Amazon Prime. All right, so that's it for all the streaming services. So real quick, let me run you down what's going to be on TV. So April 30th. Now, this did not come up in our April stream. It was closer to May anyway, so that's fine. April 30th. For fans, for fans of Parks and Rec, there's going to be a Parks and Recreation special on NBC that they're doing as a I don't know if it's going to be like I think it's going to be live or I just found this information today, and I'm kind of surprised that it took so long to like come across. Yeah, so they're doing this whole Parks and Rec thing. Nick Offerman and Amy Poehler are going to be playing their Leslie Knope and all that characters. There's going to be a lot of like guest stars and stuff like that. So I'm guessing it's going to be like a live sort of fundraiser type thing somehow. That is going to benefit relief efforts, for COVID-19. So I love Parks and Rec, and I'm down with all of it. So also that Red Nose Day, I was scheduled for some time this month. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I did see it mentioned somewhere, but I don't know how they're going to do that or what that's going to turn into. So keep an eye out for that. May 3rd. This always comes out of nowhere, and it's mind-blowing to me. So there's going to be 5 more episodes of Rick and Morty on Comedy Central. On Cartoon Network. Yeah, And so the next one is May 3rd. So the next 5 Rick and Morty episodes are rolling out. And then we got that Hulu show from the Rick and Morty creators, which I'm hoping is going to be near as good as Rick and Morty. That, like, I love a new, you know, animated series coming out. So I'm super, super psyched that we're going to have not only more Rick and Mortys, and this season has been really good so far. It took way too long to come out, but what has been of it has been really, really good. So, what's up, puppy? Hello. How are you? Hi. I love you too. On the 10th, there is a series coming out on HBO called I Know This Much Is True. It's with Mark Ruffalo, and I think I saw Vincent D'Onofrio, I want to say. Like, I didn't see a list of the cast, I just kind of saw a picture. So I was like, it looks like Vincent D'Onofrio. It's about a schizophrenic, so that could be interesting. Oh, also on the 10th, and I'm going to just throw this out there because this is the second time this series has been called to my attention. I don't know if it's like a full half. I don't know what the deal of it is. I feel like it's, I don't know. I guess we'll see exactly what it is. But this J.J. Villard's Fairy Tales is going to be coming out on Adult Swim on Cartoon Network. The reason that this came up in my attention once before is right before when Danny and I went to the Days of the. That's where we went, right? Days of the Dead. Yeah. So when we were going to Days of the Dead Con, I was pre-prepping to, because we had media passes and, you know, it's a convention, so there's, like, celebrities there and stuff like that. Unfortunately, we ended up having to do it on a Sunday, so a lot of the celebrities that I kind of wanted to catch weren't there all the way through Sunday. They were just there, like, Friday and Saturday. But Linda Blair was there on Sunday, and I was prepping in case I got a chance to talk to her. And she does one of the voices on this J.J. Villard's Fairy Tales that's going to be an Adult Swim. So I had looked into it. So yeah, it looks like it could be kind of interesting. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But see if you hear Linda Blair because she'll be there. On the 17th, May 17th, that Snowpiercer series is coming on TNT. I saw the movie Snowpiercer and that was good. I don't know how the series is gonna go, so I guess we'll have to see. But if anybody was a fan of the movie Snowpiercer and is interested in checking out the series, it'll be on TNT on the 17th. If anybody watches that that show At Home with Amy Sedaris, season 3 of that is premiering the 20th on True TV. I don't catch it all the time, but Amy Sedaris is funny. So I like her, and I like to catch her stuff when I can. Also on the 20th, I am unreasonably excited about this show and really looking forward to it. Ultimate Tag on Fox. If anybody's seen the commercials for this, first of all, when the commercial came on, I kept saying to Danny, like, I can't believe they're bringing back American Gladiators again. Because it really looks like American Gladiators, but it is not American Gladiators. It is some show called Ultimate Tag. And, yeah. So, I'll check out Ultimate Tag, and you can check out Ultimate Tag. Also that same day on the 20th on CBS, a new season, blah, 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 of The Amazing Race will be starting. So if you guys are Amazing Race fans, there'll be a new series starting this month. On the 21st, They're getting some shows on NBC. So there's something called Celebrity Escape Room. I don't know what it is, but I'm sort of interested to find out. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Celebrity Escape Room is all about. And I'm assuming that it's going to be played back to back because also that night, that show Holy Moly, the miniature golf show, the second season of that, which they actually call Holy Moly too. So that miniature golf show is coming back, and that'll be on. I'm still so mad that I watched the whole first season of that stupid miniature golf show, and they never showed the. Okay, like, you would pretty much see all the holes at times or whatever, but there was this one, like, candy-themed hole that they would show that people had played it, but they never showed it. And I was, like, dying to see how that stupid candy-theme hole worked. And they never, ever, ever showed it, and I'm super mad. That's true. Revenge of the Fifth. Yeah, and then on the 27th, on HBO, there's a show called Not So Late with Elmo or something. So it's like a Tonight Show style talk show kind of thing with Elmo. And that's going to be coming on HBO. I don't know too much about it besides, but I thought it was a cute little premise, so I threw it in there for y'all. Yeah, but oh wait, is there anything else that I wanted to mention that I did? No, I think I got everything. Yeah, we talked about those shows. Yeah, I thought I might have forgotten to recap something, but I don't think I did. But yeah, so let me know. No, it's still Little Elmo. That's why it's the Not So Late show. Because Elmo can't stay up that late because he's just a little guy. Yeah, so thanks for hanging out with us for another Friday weekly geek entertainment. Gonna be thinking about what we're gonna be focusing on for May. We did animation for April, so we'll see what we're gonna do for May. Should be interesting. And can you like hear the dog whining? She's the worst. What's the matter, puppy? Stop crying. Wanna go out? Hello. Okay, I'm gonna take you out. But yeah, let me know what you guys have seen, what you guys have checked out, what I should check out, anything that I haven't talked about. Cause like I rely on you guys from stuff. Like I wish somebody would have told me about that Dispatch from Elsewhere show, cause it's so crazy. But yeah, check that out. And hi babies. So yeah, me and Danny will be here tomorrow on the midnight stream. Hopefully I won't be singing. We'll see. But yeah, have a great night. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you tomorrow.